Hey, what's going on, everybody? Steve here, Rake and Profit over at rakeandprofit.com. And in this video, I want to talk about setting income goals and profit goals for your reselling business. This is very important. You know, with any goal, there's a couple ingredients to make sure that it's a good, solid goal that you can reach. Number one, it's got to be clear. You've got to know exactly what it is you want to go after. You don't want it to be vague. So if you're starting a reselling business and you say, you know, I want to quit my job, what does that mean? How much income does that actually take? And how much profit is that, right? In order for you to quit your job, maybe that's $4,000, $5,000 a month profit. So that's one part of the goal. Secondly, you've got to define, you know, exactly, what duration you want to have for your attainment of that goal. So, you know, a lot of people, they set goals of quitting their job, but unfortunately, they're not really clear on how much they want to make, and they don't really have a definite date to hit that goal. Okay, so that's number two. So number one, clarity of what your goal actually is, right? I want to make $5,000 a month profit. Number two, I want to hit that profit margin or that number within the next 12 months. So on September 15th, 2022, I will now be making $5,000 a month profit. And number three, you've got to define exactly what you're going to do in exchange. So there's no such thing as, you know, building a reselling business or just having money come to you outside of the lottery without doing something in exchange for it. And that exchange is value. You've got to be able to give value. So how are you going to do that? How are you going to make $5,000 a month profit by September 15, 2022? Is that going to be selling on eBay? Is that going to be selling on Amazon? What exactly are you going to be selling? Is it going to be books? Is it going to be a variety of items from electronics to board games to books to maybe clothing? You've got to define exactly what it is you're going to do in exchange for that money. And the last part is you got to really ask yourself, what's it going to take to do this? If you want to make $5,000 a month profit and you're running on a 25% margin after you pay yourself, after expenses, after fees, after PayPal, after payment processing, cost of goods, taxes, right? Depends how you want to calculate it. Then in that case, you'd have to bring in $20,000 of revenue at a 25% profit margin to make $5,000 a month profit. So then you got to take that number of $20,000 and break it down into what's your average sale, right? Is that average sale, $1,000? If it's $1,000, which obviously it's not going to be, then you would break that down. That would be easy math right there. That would be 20 sales a month, but it's not going to be that. You'd have to extrapolate that out based on whatever the number is, so on and so forth. But this is what you have to do. You've got to have that end in mind. Okay, I want to make $5,000 profit. Okay, when? So now you got to set that target date. Okay, what exactly am I going to do? Okay, I'm going to sell books on Amazon. Okay, great. My average book is going to sell for $20 after you experiment and run some numbers and stuff. And now you start to reverse engineer. Okay, I have to have this many items listed because maybe you have a 20% sell-through rate with your books per month. So you really have to think far ahead. A lot of people, they want to quit their job. They want to make a bunch of money. They have a goal, but it's a vague goal. It's not clear. There's really no clear parameter of what exactly they're going to do in exchange for that money. And they never really take the time to reverse engineer what it's really going to take. What are your profit margins? What's your average cost per sale? Where are you going to be sourcing these items? Now, one of the mistakes that a lot of people make is they never set goals. And the reason they don't set goals is not because they're not capable, because this isn't rocket science, but most people will never set a goal, a clear goal with a definite purpose, a definite date, what they're going to do. They're not going to reverse engineer all these numbers. Why? Because they can't fathom the fact of, how is this going to happen? How am I going to be able to do this? I don't know what my average sale is going to be. I don't know where I'm going to be able to find all this inventory. So they don't even start. And the truth is, you're never going to have all the answers in the beginning. You have to have what's known as faith. You've got to have that feeling inside of, you want to know what? As things unfold, I'm going to grow. I'm going to learn. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to find a way. If there's no way there that I can see, I'm going to make a way. I'm going to network. I'm going to build relationships. I'm going to model success. As Tony Robbins always says, what's the best way to get from point A to point B to reach your goal? To find someone who's already done it and model what they're doing. Now, it doesn't mean you're going to be able to get those exact same results because it might be based on their demographic, their experience, so on and so forth. But this is how I want to go about thinking about it. And this is the advice that I like to give to people who maybe they want to quit their job or they want to hit a specific goal. You've got to figure out what your goal is. You've got to define it. You've got to put a plan together. And you've got to understand that at the end of the day, this plan that you're putting together is most likely going to change. There's going to be certain parts of the plan that don't work. There's going to be things that you learn along the journey. You're going to come across maybe somebody who shares with you this great source, right? Maybe you build a connection with someone who's in charge of a organization like a college or a high school or something, where you just get this killer deal where every quarter you're picking up all the books, or you got some relationship or some consignee, or maybe you build a relationship with a liquidator. Recently, I just purchased a huge pallet of books that is going to change the game for me with my book business. It's going to change the landscape of how I do things. And I never would have known about this opportunity unless I had my eyes open and I was looking around and I was trying new things. The plan's going to change. But the key is to do the best you possibly can after watching videos like this. And, maybe you're invested in some programs or courses, you have some mentors. You need to invest in your education. You want to put the best plan together today. You don't need to know exactly how you're going to get to the end goal, which might be step 59. But what you need to do is say, okay, I'm on step 1 right now. What's the easiest way for me to get to step 1 to step 5? And then at step 5, how do I get from step 5 to step 10? And each one of those steps is like a little stepping stone to your goal. But sometimes the stones are going to go this way and that way, and then you're going to have to jump 2 stones. And sometimes you're going to have to take a couple steps back to finally get there. But you need that goal. Why do you need that goal? Because there's a part of our brain called the reticular activating system, and it will just laser in on your goal. It will find any and everything to help you to get to that goal, right? So if you have that goal of making $5,000 a month profit, your brain's going to start to see things that it normally wouldn't to help you achieve your goal. Our brains are designed to solve problems and to reach our goals. So you want to let your reticular activation system work for you. You want to set that goal. You want to have that vision, right? What you think about is what you're going to see, right? You ever buy a new car and maybe you never saw that car before, or maybe you only saw it once or twice, but now that you own that car, you see it all over the place. That's your reticular activation system. It's noticing everything that you're paying attention to. That's why they say in books like Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, you want to read your goals every day. You want to write your goals. You want to have a vision board. You want to think about it. You want to mastermind with people about your goal, because these are just simple little practices that people think are weird and think that don't work. They don't understand how the brain works. These are all little things that are helping your brain to focus on and see the things that are going to help you reach your goal. So the more you talk about your goal, the more you think about it, the more you mastermind, the more you network, the more you watch videos, the more you go out and practice and experiment, and you write the plan down and you read the plan and you look at your vision board every single day. That's how you want to attack your goals. But I can promise you, the plans you put in place today to quit your job and reach your goal are going to change. But the key is to put the plan in place right now, because you're going to be 10 times farther ahead in the next year, 18 months, 24 months with a plan versus not having a plan. Because without a plan, your brain doesn't know what to focus on. You don't really know what to focus on. You're dilly-dallying around. You're trying different things, but you don't really know why. Your brain doesn't really know why. So you got to set those goals. So just to recap really quick, how to set your reselling goals. Number 1, figure out how much money you want to make. Profit, okay? Now that you have the profit, set a realistic date, right, where you could attain this goal. And you've got to be realistic, because some people will say, well, I want to make $10,000 a month within the next 3 months, and their eBay store is only making $500. It's probably not realistic, because you got to understand, to hit those numbers, you got to source a certain amount of inventory, list a certain amount of inventory. That's how you make money in a reselling business, right? You're finding undervalued inventory that you can sell for more. So you got to be realistic. How much time can you put in? If you're putting 100 hours in a week and you're able to do that for the next 12 weeks, maybe you can hit it, right? Maybe you got a crazy source, maybe you can do it, but you got to be realistic. So how much profit do you want to make? What date do you have to attain that goal? Okay. And then what are you going to do in exchange for that goal? Are you going to list 20 items a day? Are you going to go out sourcing 5 hours a week? Are you going to start your own wholesale connections and deals, or private label? Or are you going to do pallets, liquidation? Are you going to go out thrifting every single day? How many items do you have to list? Reverse engineer it all. right? Break it all down. Okay, I want to make $5,000 a month. Okay, that means I got to list 300 items a month. Okay, I got to find this many items. This percentage of items aren't going to sell. Ask questions in the Facebook groups. Leave comments down below in these videos. Steve, what's your sell-through rate? Your sell-through rate. How many items can you typically find? What are the best business models? That's why I talk about this stuff on my channel, the different business models, the different ways. I'm not telling you that drop shipping's the best, or starting your own e-commerce brand's the best, or wholesale's the best, the best, or thrifting. I'm just giving the different options because every option works. Every option can make you a bunch of money, but not every option is going to be best for you based on your goals, on your passions, on your personality, your demographic, how much capital do you have to invest. You know, like my buddy Vinny, we were just having a conversation. He would never start a drop shipping business or a Kindle publishing business or even a wholesale business. Why? Because he wants to touch and feel and connect with the products. He wants to deal with products that he's passionate about, that he enjoys. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? So hopefully this video helps you out. I would love to know your thoughts down below. But with that being said, keep on picking and making that money. Smash that like button and appreciate the love. Take care.